Welcome to Fill the Void podcast, where we discuss unhealthy human habits caused by the society of consumption. Welcome to Fill the Void podcast, the show where we dive deep into the incredible stories of transformation and personal growth. In today's episode, we have a truly inspiring guest who went from the depths of despair to becoming the best version of himself. Meet Nick Drivas, a former 10-year porn addict who battled depression and social anxiety, contemplating a life that seemed unbearable. However, in less than a year, Nick turned his life around, focusing on fitness, mindset, and nutrition. He not only escaped addiction, but also discovered a new fulfilling and purposeful life. Now an online personal development coach, Nick shares the very program that saved his life, helping others transform into their best version. Welcome, Nick, to Fill the Void.
I'm excited to be here, about to drop some knowledge, and just thank you for having me on, Roberta.
Thank you, Nick. So, first of all, can you take us back to the moment when you realized you needed to make a change in your life? But I want you to describe in detail, like how it all started.
Okay, yeah, so this goes all the way back, honestly, to my high school days where I didn't even know who I was. I was trying to find purpose, and I had a 10 plus year porn addiction from all this. So now I'm 23. I started my porn addiction when I was 12 years old. I would just be whacking it in God knows where, like all over this house, like, and it just destroyed me over my years when I was in high school, even when I was in college as well. I ended up dropping out of college. I only did one semester, and it was because my life was going into shambles. Like, I literally wanted to commit suicide. It was getting so bad. I used to drive. It was a SUNY school here in New York, so it was like 20 minutes away by car. And I remember I had a very dark cloud over my head every single time I would drive to class, and it just fucked with me so much. And all I did to cope with myself is literally porn. I would just run to the porn. I didn't have no friends, no social circle. My teachers and everybody, they didn't care. Like, they weren't my mentors at the time. Like, they weren't guiding me in the right direction. And I was like, fuck all this. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I didn't want to be here even on this earth. I was trying to do YouTube at the time, got a couple of like 100 subscribers, if anything, but it wasn't fulfilling me for so many years. And then constantly still, I was going through it even after that. After I dropped out, still trying to find my purpose. I hop on TikTok. I blow up after posting just workouts, 700,000 followers I get. But the problem was I literally did it the wrong way. It was my first time ever, being held so many people to serve, and it just wasn't enough that I could sustain at that moment. So I was like around 20 at this time, and the porn comes back because when I was able to blow up on TikTok, that was the first time in my life I actually had some sort of purpose, and I could
Yeah.
hear God calling, like, yo, this is what you're supposed to do. Follow this path. And I lost that path. So it's always purpose over pleasure. It's never about chasing vices, chasing things that don't serve you in any purpose, because I literally was able to blow up on TikTok, make a little bit of cash, and then I was like, oh, this isn't enough cash. And I ran right back to porn. So for like another 2 years, I'm trying to work on my physique because at that time I was like super skinny. I was like a ripped twig, like people used to say in the comments all the time. And again, everything went back down to zero. I felt like shit. I had that cloud again over me for about like another year from that point in my life. And I was like, this is terrible. I need to change this. And it just continued and continued. I used to try to literally just cut myself with the shaver because I was I have the manscape thing to like shave for
Mm-hmm.
hair. And I would purposely try to cut myself really hard so I didn't feel what I was actually going through. And I felt empty inside. I felt weak at this point. And I just felt like a failure. I felt so worthless. Throughout this whole entrepreneur journey, there's been highs and lows, but that's just life. That's what it comes with. This is what it's prepping me for. That's what I realized over even these past couple of weeks. Um, but it literally destroyed me to the point where I couldn't do anything. And then I finally the change that really made me, so there was very times where I was trying to change and it just didn't work. But then finally I made a full commitment was in July of 2022, and I just went fucking ham. I was just like, fuck everybody, fuck all this shit. I'm gonna do this shit for me. Paid over $3,000 into a coach through the DM, sent the link, boom, instantly paid. Was like, fuck yeah, get me right with my physique. Take care of this. I don't wanna do any more of this. Cut the learning curve for me. Get me right. My fitness, mindset, nutrition, boom. Porn addiction, gone. Boom. All this shit. I started focusing on the things that I could control. Early morning wake up, counting my macros, hitting the gym, not missing on all that shit. And I just did that on repeat every single fucking day for months on end, in tune with my higher self and then listening to affirmations on repeat. Like I'm the fucking best. I'm the fucking man. All these things. And then it just started to turn. And it's honestly over this past since July of 2022, coming up 16 months, almost 17, I believe. Literally, my life has changed. I just hit 10K per month in my own business, got fucking ripped and bigger, like fucking bulked twice already and put on mad size. Feel so confident. I just went on two big mastermind events with other business owners and entrepreneurs making fucking multiple millions per year. You know what I'm saying? Way more. So it's like the program that I do now where I invest in myself, that's what fucking changed my life.
Incredible story, Nick. Thank you for sharing.
100%.
Incredible story. And how important it is what you say, how we humans sometimes don't even tolerate any frustration. It's like we get frustrated and go back to the unhealthy patterns just to like cope with what whatever emotion we're feeling. It's crazy. Um so can you tell me like what specific challenges you were facing during this 10-year porn addiction, depression and social anxiety?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so fucking many. For me, mainly was just loneliness, like being where I'm at, and
Yeah.
especially just growing up around not a lot of people. Like I didn't do a lot of the after school activities like a normal kid. Like I would
Yeah.
just go to school, come home, do homework, and then I had so much free time. It was just boredom that struck in, and then me just being just in this house all day. My parents weren't home and I had all this free time. So boredom leads to desires that lead to vices. So that's what happened with me. I never really had it where it was like with drinking and drugs, any sort of like I've tried it in the past, but I was like, nah, fuck this. For me, it was porn. I always ran to the porn. That was my escape go. And that's what fucked me up so emotionally, mentally, physically, across the board. Like I notice a clear difference in my energy when I'm off that shit compared to being on that shit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy how the brain works. Um and like was there a specific event or realization that served you as a turning point in this journey?
It was definitely I always say the turning point was on the I know the exact fucking date, like July 27th, 2022, when I invested into that coach. Like, I got it down to the fucking wire.
How did you realize like what was the thing that made you say like, "Oh, I have to like contact this
Mm.
person and start this program"?
Okay, so I was down in the basement. It was round 2 of, jerking it for the day, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Because I have 2 bathrooms in this house. So I remember
Yeah.
that morning, I fucking wanked it up there, and then I'm fucking weird as fuck. I'm like, "Well, you know what? We had one up here. Let's go downstairs now and do it in
Yeah.
the other to even it out." Like some fucking weird shit. So then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do this one, da da da." Okay, in 30 seconds, I'm like, "Jesus fucking Christ, Nick. Wow, that's sad." At the time, and then I'm like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like, that's where I had the realization right after. I see pools of fucking semen on this toilet seat, and I'm like, "This is gross, man." Like, I'm 22, I'm trying to run a business, I'm trying to get the chick of my dreams, I'm trying to, level up as an individual, and I'm doing this, in the fucking downstairs basement, and it's just like I'm so disgusted with myself. I'm like, you really let yourself get to this point. And then it was just calling me over and over again. Go invest into that coach. Go invest into that coach. Like I knew this coach like through another community that I was in. I reached out to him kind of in the past, but I was like, I kind
What's
of bitched out.
the name of this coach?
The coach at the time, he doesn't do it anymore, but his name was called Kyle Iwan Sawiski. Um, I invested. He doesn't do it anymore. We had to move on, and that's what kept me going. Actually, I can get into that as well. Is that even from 3 months out the gate, I was done with the coaching, and then he went and started doing another business, and I was supposed to even just be with him on that specific business as the fitness coach. So that only gave me more fucking motivation at that point because I was so dialed in. So a lot of people out here, when they get hit with a lot of bad problems, they start to do bad habits. What I did was the
Yes.
total opposite compared to what I've done in the past, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna let all this shit fucking affect me, and I'm just gonna be a little bitch and go watch porn. Or I'm gonna go like, you know, just eat some junk food and feel like shit even more. Like, why are you trying to suffocate yourself and sabotage yourself way more than already of what's happening? Like, life is happening for you. It's not happening to you. Like, not being a little victim or a little bitch and say, like, "Oh, this is happening. I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna run to, that drink or that, fucking, uh, I don't know, fucking pizza or some shit." Like, no. Like, face your problems head on. So that's what I did, especially in that moment as well, because it was a ultimate test, like, "Yo, Nick, you gonna bitch out now?" That's what the universe was saying. And what I said in that moment was like, "Good, bitch. Test me, bitch. Universe, test me." Of what everything. I thought my life was gonna change off of that opportunity because he was making bands per month, and I was like, "Oh shit, damn! I'm about to get that next level up." And then I was like, "Oh man, this just hit me in the face because it wasn't like established and whatnot. His heart wasn't in it, and I was like, "Okay, bro, fuck you. I'm moving on. I'm doing my shit." The old Nick would have been like, he's a little, to the coach, I was like, "He's a
Yeah.
little bitch," like, all the I was just like, "Fuck this shit. I'm just gonna run my shit, do this my way, continue to do what I'm doing." And then from there, I just used that shit, went to top people after that, and that realization, I need to be more around those people. Operate from them. Do they break their word? Fuck no. It's at a whole different level. Like, that's where I see myself since I was fucking born. Like,
Yeah.
only top. That's
Very
it.
good advice. Very good advice. And like talking about when people feel uncomfortable or something happens in their life that takes you back to these unhealthy patterns or habits that make you feel good in the moment. Like, do you think when you change these habits, like you cure them or you just carry this your whole life and have to battle it your whole life? How does it work?
It's constantly battling you. It's just up to you each fucking day, each moment, to choose the best you, align with the best you, the 10.0 self. This is what I focus on with my team and my members, my clients. Like, literally, we construct an individual that is in alignment of whatever situation you come across that can handle that, where you're not breaking that character. Because there's always going to be shit happening
Yeah.
in your life. There's so much shit with me right now. I'm like, oh, I'm getting so many tests. And I'm like, damn, Nick, like, how the fuck are you gonna operate? Are you gonna operate from your old habits and self-sabotage and all that? Or are you gonna be that individual, never break character, and still be in that 10.0 self? Like, what would your 10.0 self operate from? Is he gonna be in abundance the whole time? Is he not gonna complain? He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna make a game plan. He's gonna do X, Y, Z, you know? Like, I don't know. Most people, they
Yeah.
just don't wanna do that because it's fucking work, and what are most
Yeah.
people out here? They're being lazy, they're choosing, it's all a choice at the end of the day. Again, every fucking morning, you can wake up the same time, regardless of how you feel, non-negotiable it, or you can sleep in because you're a little tired. That is a choice.
Exactly. It's a daily choice and it's good that you have to repeat this constantly. Um, so what are the elements in your program that had the most significant impact in your life now?
I would definitely say so there was a lot that I was taught, specifically from, when I invested into that coach back in July, and the main things that come to my head instantly is gonna be the non-negotiable daily process. So, the first thing on that list, it's, 4 things. Every single day, again, non-negotiable. So, what does that exactly mean? So, I wanna make
Yeah,
that fucking clear. Non-negotiable does not mean that it's something that yeah, I'm just gonna maybe get around to it. No, it does not matter how you feel, what is going on in your life, whatever the circumstances are, you are gonna get that done. And this is what I did every fucking day, regardless, to get myself out of the hole that I created for myself. So the first thing, early morning wake up. So whatever that time was, I was waking up. I think I started at 6:15. Obviously, from the gate, if you start to do like 3:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you're not used to 3 o'clock, you're gonna burn out. Like, not even burn
yeah,
out. I don't want to say burnout because burnout's fake. Literally like just bitch out. You're gonna go back to your old ways because you're not used to it. So what I did is I started at like 6:15 or some shit. It was like 6:30. I don't exactly remember that part. But then I started dialing it back by 15-minute intervals each week. So then it went from 6:15 at week 1, 6 o'clock at week 2. That was the first thing. So then I was staying on the program. Did not miss with that. Second thing is going to be your macros, hitting specific macro goals. So this was provided by my coach at the time, and I would hit that shit every fucking day, type it all in, ba 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 ba, measure my food, dial everything. And I was in the deficit, so it was only getting easier as I did this every single day. The next thing is intense workout. So definitely hitting some high vibrational fucking workout to get rid of anything that is holding you back because I had to do this every single morning where I would be pissed off. I would be so negative in the morning. I need to go and hit a workout. Like I need to elevate my state. I need to get out of the house. I need to get out of that bed. I need to get out of um my fucking thoughts because they're gonna just overpower me if I don't go and hit this shit. So my frequency needs to be raised. And from there, that's what I would do. Hit the workout, go hard though. I wasn't just going through the motions. I wasn't
mhm,
being a bitch and saying, oh, just another day. Like I'm going hard in that bitch. Like I'm really trying to push myself. I'm trying to pass out, like type shit. Like trying to really push myself to that next level. Um, and then the last thing is stacking your wins and also self-reflection. So they kind of go hand in hand. So self-reflection can mean the journaling, stacking wins, or even your goals. And in this process, what I do literally, boom, stack the wins, build that confidence up for the day. Okay, I hit that meal. Okay, log that meal. I fucking hit the workout. I woke up super early, did not miss. I felt like a bitch. I didn't want to get out of the bed, but I did. Boom, that's a big ass win. Most people can't do that. They hit the snooze. So, then from there, I go into constructing shit of what the fuck I didn't do, that I could do better on from the previous day. If it's like, "Oh, I was like a bitch to go up to that girl in the gym." Like, "Okay,
mhm.
let's work on that. How can we approach that and make sure that you're able to do that the next time that you see her?" So it's like constant improvement even just off of the journaling. Journaling is where you find a lot about yourself. For reading, you learn a lot about other people's perspectives. In journaling, it's your own.
Incredible. I really, really love how you work. And my question now goes like, I am also very strict with myself and I love following routines and like this lifestyle where you just push yourself to be the best. But there's days that you wake up, and maybe you're not feeling as powerful, as good. So it's also important, in my opinion, to not judge yourself when you cannot be at your best, right? Like, how do you manage that?
I just push through the motherfucker. Like, I'm so, like, intense with it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like discipline. It's like, I really don't care. If I'm, like, sick, like, I don't even participate in that shit. I'm just like, I'm not even sick. This is like 3D bullshit. This is on the physical plane. It's all like feelings and emotion. That's the problem is like a lot of people out here we're just like focused on the feeling of shit of like, oh, I don't want to hit that workout or whatever because, I had a long day. It's like, "Oh my god." Like, can you just get your ass in the fucking gym, stop complaining, and literally just hit the workout? Like, you're gonna feel actually better if you go and hit the workout because literally when you go to the gym, like, everybody, when you leave, holds the fucking door for you on the way out. Like, why is that? Because you're in such a high vibrational state. You're
Yeah.
operating at such a high frequency. You don't see all like the low vibrational shit that everyone else is witnessing or negative. Cause I notice when people go into the gym, they don't hold the door because they're in a negative state because of where the fuck they're coming from the past. So it's like
Mhm.
and especially here in New York, it's like everyone like, I don't know. I'm just like, God damn, it's on a different fucking level. And I'm like, I hold the door, like I just coming out of the gym. I'm like, yeah, because I'm literally just like, oh fuck. I'm in that high frequency state. I'm in that peak performance in that fucking mindset. And I'm operating not even from just me. I'm not operating from Nick Drivas. I'm operating from a higher purpose, a higher self. It's my fucking soul. So why I focus is literally mind, mindset, body, and soul. That's it. So get that
And
into
it's yeah, it's important because you also say like it's not that you're numbing or escaping what you feel because you also journal. So that's where you are
Mhm.
connecting with what you are needing, what you want to do better. But in terms of action, it's just a matter of taking action towards whatever you want to become every day, no matter what.
That's what it is. It's like I see a fucking vision. So I got my whole vision board planned out. I'm like, okay, operate from that character. I got it 5, 10 years from now. I look at that shit every morning before I go into the gym when I'm in the car. And I got the music blasting. Like I have some high frequency, like it's not some, like Lil Baby and talking about like drugs and cocaine. Like fuck that shit. Like it's literally like I like there's songs like this guy, like, Jerome the Prince, one of his songs is like "Greatest Alive," and it's like repeating on the song, it says like, "I'm the greatest alive. I'm the greatest alive," like on repeat. So you're affirming to yourself, if I'm reading that fucking vision board, oh baby, it's gonna be a hell of a lift. It's gonna feel like so like just compared to like most people who just like go into lift, they're just like going through the motions. Fuck, I'm going into that gym. I don't give a fuck how I feel. Like I know if I go to the gym and I come out, like I'm gonna feel so fucking good, regardless of what was going on, all the shit, because I'm removing all the negative shit that was holding me back in the first place. Every single day, every moment, and just in general, is literally a forward step or a back step based off the daily disciplines that you have. There's a whole checklist. No drugs, no alcohol, no nicotine, no hookups, no lying even, no toxicity, all these things. You don't do those requirements, you're gonna go backwards. You do those requirements,
And what
you're gonna
happens if you miss a requirement and you go backwards? It's
then
just,
then the universe is gonna know. Like you can say like, oh well, no one will find out. Shut up. Like literally, like the universe knows, and it's gonna reward you with karmic debt. That's all it's gonna do at
but
that
it's also
moment.
okay and you are able to revert the situation and come back up. That's the point in all of this, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. All you gotta do is get back on the saddle immediately. If
Mm-hmm.
you do fuck up, look,
Yeah.
honestly, it's like we're not perfect. Nobody, can put out an image or say that they're perfect. Me, I'll be honest, I'm not fucking perfect. I think I am in my head, but I'm like on the surface to other people, it's like, oh, he's not perfect. He has flaws, but I like to show that shit too. I'm all about full transparency. Know every little fucking detail of what's going on with me currently, what I came from, all this shit, Like,
And
what
my question here goes to you, like, what were the challenges that you faced during this transformation, and how did you overcome them?
literally, again, so many of, just a lot of people that I thought were friends holding me back, mentors even, as I explained, um, and I thought there was, like, people there for me, you know? And it's,
Yeah.
I tend to not take things with a grain of salt. As people say, "Yo, take things with a grain of salt." I take a lot of things to heart. Like, I'm an extremist. It's only 0 or 100 with me. There is no fucking in between. I've been like that my whole life with anything I did. If it w I was trying to go to the NBA when I was, like, in high school, did all the fucking drills. I would do, like, 7 hours a day, it didn't fucking matter. But, like, uh, the discipline and the habits were there. I would be an extremist with that to go and chase that. It didn't matter
Yeah,
what the fuck it was.
yeah,
I'm just an extremist.
yeah. I feel you because I'm similar in a way. And do you have any self care practices that you utilize or became essential for you in sustaining this positive lifestyle?
Definitely, well, for one, I would definitely say is, my skincare. That was something else. Like, I wasn't taking care of my skin. So, like, I started taking care of my skin. I started taking care of myself because my internal state was so fucking, uh, on fire now. Like, it was so in stone that then it affected the external state. Internal state affects external state. So then from
Mm-hmm.
there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start taking care, of my skin. I started taking care, like, fucking my hair even more, like, every 2 weeks, haircut, eyebrows done, like, certain things like that. Like, it's just about the habits. If I didn't have these habits on lockdown, it would be a shit show. I wouldn't be coming on here and looking the way that I do. Like, it wouldn't look a certain way, like, have a glow and all that, you know? Like, have a glow to yourself. Like, can you light up a room? Like, when you step in a room, are you just like, "Oh, there he is," or is it like, "Oh, it's that motherfucker. Oh, yeah, I wanna talk to him." He's got that energy, that presence. So, like, that's what, through my self-care and all that, that's what I found.
Yeah, that's so important. Even like these little habits, just focusing on the little things, then it makes the whole thing greater.
Yep.
Um, so what are your future goals, both personally first and professionally?
So personally, for me, it's like, I'm on the market, so is single, but like to have that dream woman, I'm not just going after, whoever. It's not a something that I have to rush. But definitely personal where I can have that one person. I've never been like, "Oh, I'm gonna have multiple wives," and all that stuff. I like genuine connection. I like really getting to know a certain woman. What does she have that I can learn from? Like, who's that individual can also, uplift me? Who's gonna grow with me? Like, I'm only looking for growth in a relationship, especially with the woman. Not some, like, one night stand, multiple wives that don't give a fuck about you, but they just give a fuck about your money, like, none of that shit. So that's one personal thing. And then, the other thing you said was, financial, did you say?
Professionally, yeah,
Pers
professionally. What are your future goals?
So professionally, for myself is definitely just getting into more of the better rooms of top individuals, hanging around them more compared to these chumps out here who are trying to do like coaching and it's like they're not even established. Like only learn from people that have it, of the results that you actually want. So that's what I'm going after. It's like if they have the physique then go to the motherfucker that has the physique in the first place. Don't go to
Mm-hmm.
the fat in-person trainer. Don't go to that guy. He's not gonna help you.
Lead
It
by
like
example.
yeah, exactly. That's my one of my sayings, like, lead by fucking example. Lead from the front. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Um, and so, Nick, could you share with the audience how can they reach you if interested? How's your social media website?
So Instagram is where I do pretty much everything. That's me in the DMs, by the way. It's not some VA when you're talking to me. So on Instagram, it's gonna be Nick Drivas Fit, NickDrivas, and then the word fit. You can contact me there for coaching and programs. You just shoot me a DM. I have a mid-level program that basically just gets your habits right and your discipline out the gate. And then we just focus on weekly check-ins in there for yourself. And there's a group community aspect as well. We hop on group calls once a week for you, and we just get everything dialed right. Like you're just tired of just not being able to hit your diet. You're falling off consistently, where you should be consistently getting in the gym, getting your macros and your diet correct to live a longer and healthier life. For that one, we have different options, right? You can shoot me a DM if that's the one you're interested. Then we have a high level program. This is more one on one access with me. This is if you're more of a corporate individual and you don't have the time to literally get your ass in the gym, unlock that 10.0 self. We're also doing in this process as well for you. And we align with that unbreakable individual as well. So we're turning you into your 10.0 self on my high level program. On the mid level, we're just doing just the foundations for that. So those are the two programs. You can shoot me a DM with whatever one you want to go with. And then we take it from there, literally just through the DM. We get you started immediately. That's it. Like there's no room for fucking error or, just getting around to it or letting me know, like, okay, so you don't want it then. Like, be ready.
Thank you so much, Nick, for these incredible insights and for sharing your story. You're a truly remarkable individual. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Roberta. Thank you for having me on.